another edition of Extra Time TV. It's the one, the only Andre Sooklal, and I'm joined once again by our regular starter. I think he's always in the lineup. He earned himself a regular spot on this team. Terry Fenwick, how are you today?
I'm very good, Andre. Lovely to see you as usual.
Yes. So, we're going to head straight into it like we always do. But before we start, folks, I'm going to let you all know once again, keep your eyes peeled, have your mobile devices ready, because a QR code is going to be popping up randomly throughout the episode. When you scan that code, you automatically get a chance to qualify for a chance to win a prize, which is EAFC, where we can play. And if you dare, you can challenge me. Terry challenged me last week, but I want to see if you all really have what it takes. Bring it on. And then you could also comment and so on. But we're going to start things off, folks. The passing of a legend, Terry.
Yes.
The great, so Bobby Charlton passed away a couple days ago. Everybody saw it on their social media feeds. And as you can see here, Manchester United posted this up on their social media with simple words. Words will never be enough. And I think that's... Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. It's the one, the only Andre Sooklal, and I'm joined once again by our regular starter. I think he's always in the lineup. He earned himself a regular spot on this team. Terry Fenwick, how are you today?
I'm very good, Andre. Lovely to see you as usual.
Yes. So, we're going to head straight into it like we always do. But before we start, folks, I'm going to let you all know once again, keep your eyes peeled, have your mobile devices ready, because a QR code is going to be popping up randomly throughout the episode. When you scan that code, you automatically get a chance to qualify for a chance to win a prize, which is EAFC, where we can play. And if you dare, you can challenge me. Terry challenged me last week, but I want to see if you all really have what it takes. Bring it on. And then you could also comment and so on. But we're going to start things off, folks. The passing of a legend, Terry.
Yes.
The great, so Bobby Charlton passed away a couple days ago. Everybody saw it on their social media feeds. And as you can see here, Manchester United posted this up on their social media with simple words. Words will never be enough. And I think that's, adequate so far. What do you think, Terry?
Andrea, this is such a humble man for a superstar of the game of football. I was honoured to play on his testimonial many years ago. And it was at Old Trafford, England versus Scotland. We beat the Jocks 4-2.
Oh, nice.
I scored a goal in the game.
Oh boy, Terry.
But more importantly, I met Sir Bobby Charlton on that day.
Wow.
What a lovely man. What a great player. He was my childhood hero. Wonderful player. Recognised that England at that time, World Cup winners in 1966. 4-4-2, but that two at the top was Geoff Hurst and Sir Bobby Charlton. And Bobby used to drop into them midfield pockets of space and holes. Great on the ball, two wonderful feet, scored some amazing goals for England and Manchester United. What a player, what a man.
Yep, and I think it's perfect that we have the show you here today, Terry, although he's a regular, of course, but interacting with this guy. He was known as people say that he's the first gentleman of football.
He was so humble.
Yeah.
Wonderful guy. He'd speak to everyone. He'd stop with the fans in the street. He'd have his photographs taken everywhere with everyone. This guy was a wonderful man for the game of football, for Manchester United, England. What a gentleman.
Yes, and what's beautiful about technology now, I was not able to see him live, but now I could go back into the archives, even look at your games back in the day, look at his games. So now a younger generation could appreciate how good these guys are, winning that World Cup with England.
Correct.
Surviving that Munich crash.
Yes.
That's crazy. A lot of people, that's one of the most tragic stories in football.
Well, listen, Andrea, I would stand by it. I think at the time everybody recognises Pelé, best player in the world. Sir Bobby Charlton was right there with him. He'd done so many more things different to Pelé, yes, but what a wonderful player. This was a guy that linked the whole team up. He made everybody play. Everybody in football loved Bobby Charlton. He was a lovely man. He was a good guy. He was always there to shake hands and smile and look after people. Great player.
Yes, and as somebody who played for the Three Lions, of course, you met this guy, this legend.
Yeah.
I feel like guy is just an unworthy term to use.
Yeah.
I want to ask you specifically about something, You're Terry, you see on the news, you read about the crash.
Yes.
What was your reaction to that?
It was crazy. I mean, this is world football, your best teams, Manchester United, all over the press. The flight's gone down, so many wonderful people lost. And God, it was heartbreaking. My paws are standing up. That's how bad it was at the time. And the ones that came out were humble, lovely people like Sir Bobby. But having to carry that over your lifespan is just amazing, because that hurt. And I know not just Sir Bobby, but everyone else attached to that flight that day. What a tragedy.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what it's like,
Crazy.
to have this composure, because he always looked very composed.
Yes.
And Manchester United fans, this guy is such a proper legend for the
Yeah.
club and a great representative, Everybody knows it's a running joke that I like Argentina, but it shows how this guy transcends
Yeah.
those rivalries.
Well,
and
I think it's wonderful. I mean, guys at Manchester United, and this is from the tea lady downstairs, the cleaners, the everyone at Manchester United loved Bobby Charlton, because he was that lovely guy that went round, said hello to everybody, kissed everybody up, hugged everybody up. He always made a big deal out of all the birthdays and the this, that and the other. This was a lovely man. What a talisman he's been, not just for Manchester United, for England. Them's the sort of gentleman that we need in the game.
Yes, it's something, that's kind of missing right now. And folks, those of you who are fans of Manchester United and even fans of Bobby himself, you could let us know what you think, by scanning, the QR code, and let us know your thoughts if you have any nice messages, because it's unique, because we have someone who interacted with him.
Yeah.
And that's very unique. Not much people can say. I mean, we always joke about the Maradona thing, but you've met a lot of very important people in football.
Yeah.
This guy is a legend of the game, just like the others.
I'd like to just say rest in peace, Sir Bobby. Wonderful player.
Yes, beautiful. And the same comes here. He was before my time, but I understand his greatness in the game.
Yeah.
And that's great. We could explain to the younger people, these legends.
Legend.
I'm somewhere
Absolutely.
in between. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, folks, and we'll be back in a couple seconds where we'll continue to talk about some more things, football, Neymar's injury, and more.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Introducing Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a seasoned consultant cardiologist from York Teaching Hospital with 28 years of experience. Renowned for his expertise in cardiac imaging, with Dr. Gupta, heart health is at the heart of the conversation. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. He is on a mission to demystify cardiology. Dive deep and take control of your heart health. Only on Biz TV.
We're back, and we head to South American qualifiers. But before I talk about the South American qualifiers, we're going to have one of the legends of South American commentary and so on, Juan Arango, coming up in the next episode. But we already have our own legend here right now, which is Terry. So, unfortunately, Brazil lost to Uruguay, depending on who you ask. Uruguayans will be very happy right now. Yes. Coached by Marcelo Bielsa, El Loco. Brilliant coach. Yes. I'm a huge fan of him. Yeah. But the headlines are, this is not what we're going to talk about. Neymar got an injury. It's been reported he may be injured up to maybe 5 to maybe even longer months.
Wow.
So he's done for a long time. But this is not what we're going to talk about. His club, Al Hilal, FIFA may be forced to pay them 6.5 million after his ACL injury. So Terry, first off, let me know your thoughts about Neymar and his injury and how it affects Brazil before we talk about that.
It's obviously a terrible injury, and we're going to miss him for a number of months, as you said. But isn't that the game of football we're playing today? I mean, people do pick up injuries. Mm-hmm. And this is a guy, Neymar, my God, if there was ever something that you'd look at, he's renowned for diving.
Yes.
And now somebody's really clipped his heels, gone down, he's got an injury. I'm sad to see that because he's a terrific player. Mm-hmm. But Brazil against Uruguay, that's a big, big game in South America. They're at each other's throats. And the quality of the players that you've got there today is fantastic. So the competitive edge, the nationalism, everybody standing up, it doesn't surprise me, Andre.
Yeah, and it's scary for Brazil because Neymar is in fact, even though he's playing in Saudi Arabia now, he is still their talisman. Yeah. They have a lot of talented players. But like Messi for Argentina, a lot of pressure goes on Neymar, and it seems as if he does get injuries a lot. Yeah. Some people are questioning his lifestyle. He does like to party a lot. It's no secret. It's not like gossip reporting. This is a factual thing. Yeah. He's young. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of money in Paris. Now he has more money in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, as great as he is, like many other Brazilians before him, like the Adrianos, even Ronaldinho, as great as they were, is this, is the lifestyle, I mean, we're not judging here, but as somebody who has played the game, you're a coach. Yeah. Do you think that his lifestyle is just hurting not just his Brazil career, but his entire career?
I think it is, yeah, because when you look at the way the game's moving now, and the monies that are distributed to some of these top players is just outrageous. It's huge. Mm-hmm. And how do you manage people like that? How do you manage them off the field of play, in their social life, what they're doing at home? Neymar is well renowned of being that party animal. He's out there putting himself around. Somebody should be there managing him. And I'm sure he has got a management team. But I find it, they've obviously not done a good job with him because so much hits the press these days.
Yes, and just to get to the real issue, I'm just going to read a quote right here. Having the injured Neymar on their books will cost Al Hilal more than 6.5 million. However, this is a player on a deal that will cost reportedly 276 million, according to this year, that's pounds, so they say euros or whatever. This could be wrong, I'm not sure. Over a 2-year spell. So that's the kind of money
crazy
that they're spending on him, and that's how much it's going to cost FIFA. Yeah. You've played international football from your time to now. Yeah. In terms of injury compensation, do you think that's a fair figure, or I think it is because they're spending a lot of money.
This is the risk the guys take. You play football, you take your knocks. Listen, Andrea, in the early stages of 1991, I broke my ankle in the warm-up before the game. This was in January, freezing cold, rock-hard surface, and I twisted my ankle and broke my ankle. I was out for 6-7 months. I didn't get any compensation for that. The club didn't get any compensation because the field wasn't in good condition. We had to get on with it. That's the game that we play. That's what we grew up doing. I can't see that the club can go after FIFA with this. I think that's ridiculous, and FIFA should step up.
Yeah, it just shows you how different the game is now, and
changing.
The money that is being spent has become so ridiculous that the numbers are insane. Yeah. Just to end things off before we go to the break, Neymar has featured just 5 times this season for his club, and he scored 1 goal. So, if you're at the club, you're spending a lot of money for this guy. Yeah. He's now injured. He's not really getting the output you think. And, these guys were brought to Saudi Arabia to amp things up. It's going to be a lot of problems, folks.
Andrea, isn't that what the Saudis want? They want all the big names. They want all the worldwide personalities that are playing at the top level of the game. they've also got to take their knocks when they come. This is the Saudis. They've got to realise that the game is not as easy as they think.
Yes, yes. So, folks, let us know when you scan the QR code. What do you think about this? Brazil fans, let me know what you think. I know there's a lot of Neymar fans, so we're going to wrap things up. We're going to head to a commercial break, and we'll...
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That, unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Folks, and we're back, and listen, it's a trending topic. A lot of people roll their eyes at this particular subject that we're going to talk about, myself included. The Ballon d'Or, once again, has returned. I personally find it ridiculous. I think it's like a popularity contest. That's my opinion, but I know a lot of people love it. Terry, before we get into the, who's who and what is what of this competition, which, like I said, if I could roll my eyes, it would be rolling right now, but I'm trying to be professional.
Well, I'm trying to roll my eyes because I'm on the same page as you. I think this is a competition that FIFA have mashed up for so many years. We've had the Messi, Ronaldo competitive side of it, just between the two of them for so long. Yeah, they've got to get it right this time, haven't they?
Yeah, yep. So, we're going to pull up the list really quickly here about with the short list, if you want to call it that. It's a very long short list. I'm not going to read all those names. And what's hilarious about all those names is that there's only 2 names or 3 names that really matter on this list, Terry. And we know the 3 names. It's obviously the little man from Argentina, Leo Messi.
Yeah.
In my eyes, and unless you see someone else, Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe are my 3 that I think are the ones. Yeah. And I think I have a shout for maybe Julian Alvarez in there for me. Yes. But I'll tell you why afterwards. But, what do you think about that? It's a lovely list.
Well, I look at this and strictly on a FIFA front, I think they will be very much looking at Messi, I think, because of how he's transformed football in the United States of America. Huge continent, huge country. They're booming, their soccer's booming. And it's booming because they've got Lionel Messi there, scoring great goals, doing wonderful things on the field, and he's raised the level of the game. That's why worldwide football now is bringing in so much revenue. Yeah,
and we're going to take a quick look at, before I bring up this stat, one of the things, the criteria seems to always be changing in the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
Which is what, annoys a lot of people.
Yeah.
But let's take a look off from the lovely folks on SofaScore had some stats from the 3 players. So let's pull that up there. So we have the obvious choices, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe. So according to them, their SofaScore rating, and there's a lot more stats to this. Messi is the highest with 8.08, Mbappe 7.54, Haaland with 7.36.
Yeah.
49 matches, 56. And this is where I think it starts to get a little technical, which I like. Goals versus assists, 30 goals, 24 assists in the particular year that we're working with, 54.
56 goals there from Haaland.
Yeah, I know.
Blows them all away, man.
It's crazy, and goal involvement, trophies won. And even with this, I always say, even in numbers, there are little intangibles.
Yeah.
With the World Cup and so on. Messi winning the World Cup, there's a lot of people, even Shaka Hissop and I were talking about this, And I even spoke about this on ESPN. Shaka, we're going to harass you a little bit because, Shaka always maintained that in order for Messi to be the greatest of all time, he had to win the World Cup. And he has won the World Cup.
Done it. Correct.
And a lot of people, try to argue the numbers. One season it's who scores the most, then it's the other season. It's always changing.
They're always moving the goalposts, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, I know. I love that expression.
Them. Yeah.
So, I would love your opinion because I personally think he deserves it, especially this time. There were times that I was like, I don't know, but this time, he won the World Cup. He won everything with his national team. He won that title with PSG. A lot of people make fun of the French league, but they shouldn't. But I understand some points.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Messi should win it. What do you think?
For me as well, I agree. I mean, how can you stand against Messi, who's been brilliant for decades? Like, he's done wonderful things with Barcelona when he started off. PSG, he's had a rough time in Argentina. And he's had that rough time because he had Maradona before him. But he's finally come through. He's won a World Cup. He's doing brilliant things. He's changing the way a whole continent are looking at soccer today in the United States. Absolutely, I would go with Messi. I think he's done a wonderful job. Great guy, great ambassador for the game. Comes across very well. Love it.
Yes, yes. And, I can't understand the arguments with other players. For example, Haaland, he's won the Champions League, the EPL. He's won the treble, basically.
Treble,
And then I would even put a shout. That's my dark horse. I know he's not going to win. But Julian Alvarez, the other City guy.
Yes.
This guy is like 23 years old. He won everything there is to win in South America, but he won the World Cup, everything there is to win at national level. Plus, he won the treble, the Premiership, the Champions League, and so on.
Yeah.
So he's my dark horse, even if Messi doesn't win, which I think he will. I'm just putting it out there, folks,
You love your RGs, don't you?
Yes, yes, yes. Subtle bias there. But, with that being said, we're going to, do you think the criteria this time around is just undisputed, like Messi?
Well, I just think, why don't they put that out publicly before we kick a ball for the next one, so we know what the demands are to win this whole thing? It is a prestigious competition. Every player in the world wants to be Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
But when they keep on chopping and changing, moving the goalposts, we're all in the dark. We don't know what's going on.
Yes. So, folks, before we head to our next commercial break, I just want to mention, the Ballon d'Or will be coming up soon. We will put a post on social media where you all can vote and let me know what you all think. If you agree with the final three that we are going with, do you think someone else should be there? Do you think it's absolutely nuts? Do you love the Ballon d'Or? If you don't, let us know why. So that being said, I'm just going to end off with one quick thing. 5-time Ballon d'Or winner Cristiano Ronaldo has been omitted for the first time since 2003. And in typical Fanning the Flames fashion, I'm going to leave you guys with that note, and we're going to take a commercial break.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That, unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Welcome to Cuban Dental Care. With professionals trained for over 25 years, your smile is in trusted hands. From resin composite veneers to full upper acrylic dentures or even gold crowns, we master it all. Call us at 235-CUBA or 364-9629. Follow our journey on Facebook and Instagram at Cuban_dental_care. The Cuban Dentist, where your smile is our masterpiece.
All right, folks, and we're back. And, fanning the flames with the Cristiano Ronaldo statement before we're going to head to local football, which is where we're from, Trinidad and Tobago. And Trinidad and Tobago, in the last game of the CONCACAF Nations League in this particular group, lost 5-3 to Curaçao. They were bottom of the table Terry, and a lot of people were expecting us after that last result
Yeah.
to get a positive result against Curaçao. John and I, in our previous episode, folks, you could take a look at that, and even us, we were talking about the possibility of complacency. It has happened in the past, and before we get your response,
Yes.
we have some comments from Andre Sooklal that we're going to pull up real quick, and we'll respond accordingly. So let's pull that up, Director.
I think the campaign was a huge success. As I keep saying, nobody expected us to be where we were coming into this final game. This is a rebuilding, process that we're going through, and you're going to have days that you have your ups and downs. But I thought a lot of questionable calls by the referee today. I haven't seen the tape. I'm not one of them to talk about the referees much. But all in all, I think we did a very good campaign, and we're still alive when other people are going home.
Yes. So with that being said, before we get your response to that, Terry, we're going to pull the table up real quickly to show where Trinidad and Tobago stand right now and see Trinidad finished second place with 9 points. And due to some fortuitous results, we stayed in second position. And it was an absolute crazy game, Terry. So, seeing that game, see what Angus had to say, let me know your thoughts.
Well, I just thought, listen, I watched the game myself, and it's very difficult for Trinidad and Tobago at the moment, under Angus Eve, playing any other style of football other than defensively, everyone bar one behind the ball and keeping the distances tight. Listen, stats don't tell lies. And when you look at the games against all of the sides that we've played against, they've all had better possession than Trinidad and Tobago. This is because Angus is so used to having people behind the ball and keeping it tight. But you see, when you then get the ball, there's got to be a game plan with the ball, not just without it, keeping the distances short, keeping it compact, which is what he's done throughout his career at whatever level, even at schoolboy level. He's done that. Trinidad and Tobago should be better than that, in my opinion. That says a lot to me.
Yeah, and there's two valuable points that we are going to raise here. Trinidad and Tobago, Angus has highlighted his preference for defensive football, which we'll get to in a moment. But what do you think was the absolute contrast? We have been conceding goals, which we'll get to that in a moment. We have a wonderful stat. But such a contrast in both games. I looked at that game. I was in Miami with Thomas Rongan, who'll be coming up soon.
Yeah.
And we were genuinely baffled about how chaotic it was.
Yes.
And, in terms of the defensive performance of the players.
Yeah.
What do you think was the reason for that massive contrast? Because he did mention fatigue and so on. But it was like a night and day performance.
Well, he came up with a few excuses. Fatigue, the pitch, the turf, the this, that. Get on with the game. That's for both sides. And the thing is, I can't argue we're qualified. I want Trinidad and Tobago to qualify. But the excuses that are coming out behind it are going to trip him up in the long run because everybody behind the scenes knows what goes on. Yeah. We haven't heard anything, Molinos and people like that have spoken out, that they're not happy with the way things go on behind the scenes technically because they can't play in that defensive format all of the time.
And, just to wrap things up, we'll take a quick look at the stats here of the defensive record for Trinidad and Tobago. We'll skim through it just to wrap things up. So let's take a quick look of Trinidad and Tobago's defensive record. So this is overall in the CONCACAF Nations League. You can see here, in terms of shots on target, they have a significant amount of shots on our goal from all the teams we played against. And you can see it here, 14, 27, 24, 24. And it shows that we are definitely, according to Angus at least, willing to allow teams to take shots. And, we're going to, that just kind of emphasizes
I think that's a contradiction in itself.
Yeah.
Because for teams that are tough to beat, well organised, well drilled, you don't have them stats against you, Andre. We've conceded 9 goals. That's a lot of goals, 2 goals a game.
And just to wrap things up, we'll be playing USA in the next game, the US men's national team, which is a really rough game. We'll be playing them, I think, away in Austin, Texas on the 16th of November and the 20th of November in Trinidad and Tobago. That's going to be a rough one. They have a really strong team. They destroyed Ghana in the recent friendly. They have a powerful team. Greg Berhalter and his men will be out to destroy people. Yeah. But just to end things off, there's a notable fact. We still have a chance. And it's been reported that the 4 losing, from the TTFA website, the 4 losing quarterfinalists, so assume we lose to USA, I don't want to say that, but I'm just saying, will still have an opportunity to qualify for next summer Copa America via a single match direct elimination play-in, where they will play for the 2 remaining slots for the CONCACAF Nations. This play-in will also take place in March 2024. So this is going to be quite a challenge. We will do a full preview of this particular game.
Yes.
But with that being said, folks, be sure to sign your QR codes. Terry and I would love to talk about this particular tournament. And, we're going to wrap things up here. Terry, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Brilliant.
And
Andre, loved it.
yes, folks, let us know what you think about this game. We're going to be facing USA. Let us know what you think about the show. Feel free to send your comments, thoughts, and suggestions by scanning that QR code. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us.